If you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and walked away thinking the secret to wealth is just buy assets, not liabilities, you've been tricked. The line everyone parrots isn't even the core of the book. It's a distraction, a deliberate, calculated distraction. But here's the strange part. Kiyosaki didn't write that line to teach you about real estate or stocks. He wrote it to teach you something far more uncomfortable. Think back to when you were 7 years old. You raised your hand in class, excited to share an idea, and your teacher told you to sit down and wait to be called on. You got a B on a test you worked your ass off for, and your parents told you to try harder next time instead of asking why the grading system was rigged. You were told to save 10% of your allowance, to never spend more than you earn, to never take a risk you couldn't afford to lose. That wasn't parenting. That was obedience training. The real hidden line of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is never printed in any of the summary videos you've watched, never highlighted in the TikTok clips, never mentioned in the podcast breakdowns. It's the one line Kiyosaki buried so deep most readers skip right over it. And if you miss it, you'll spend the rest of your life trading your time for money, no matter how many passive income hacks you try. Kiyosaki wrote the book after 27 publishers rejected it. Not because it was bad. Because publishers knew it would make people question the system that keeps them working 40 hours a week for 40 years, only to retire with a pension that barely covers groceries. The system doesn't want you to know that the safe path they've been selling you since kindergarten is designed to keep you poor and keep them rich. But wait, if the book's message was so radical, why did it become a global bestseller? Because the system loves selling you the illusion of rebellion. They'll let you buy the book, highlight the buy assets line, post it on your Instagram, buy a $200 course on passive income that teaches you exactly the same employee mindset you already have. They'll let you think you're hacking the system as long as you never actually break the rules that keep them in power. That's the dopamine trap. You feel like you're taking action, like you're smarter than everyone else still grinding at their 9 to 5, but you're still trading your hours for dollars, still asking for a raise, still scared to quit your job even when it's making you miserable. Your 9 to 5 pays you for your time, not your results. The assets you buy after reading the book will only make you rich if you stop thinking like an employee first. Most people buy a rental property and spend 20 hours a week fixing toilets, answering tenant calls, stressing about vacancies. They didn't buy an asset. They bought a second part-time job because they still think the only way to make money is to trade effort for cash. That's the obedience training talking. That's the part Kiyosaki knew most people would never unlearn. The hidden message of Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't buy assets, not liabilities. It's stop letting other people define what you can and can't have. The rich dad wasn't teaching Robert Kiyosaki about money. He was teaching him to unlearn every lie he'd been told about success, about safety, about what it means to be responsible. The assets Kiyosaki talks about aren't just rental properties or dividend stocks. They're the skills you build when you stop waiting for permission to learn. They're the network you build when you stop hanging out with people who tell you your dreams are stupid. They're the freedom you get when you stop trading your most valuable asset, your time, for a paycheck that barely keeps up with inflation. Think about the last time you stayed up late scrolling side hustle videos, saving tips on how to make an extra $500 a month. You weren't looking for a way to make more money. You were looking for a way to escape the cage you've been trained to think is normal. And the people selling you those side hustle tips know that. That's why they never tell you the real secret. The only way out of the cage isn't to make more money while staying inside it. It's to stop accepting that the cage exists in the first place. Kiyosaki buried the real message because he knew most people weren't ready to hear it. He knew most people would rather read a list of 10 proven ways to get rich quick than admit that the only thing standing between them and the life they want is their own willingness to stop obeying rules that were never designed to help them. If you're still waiting for someone to give you the secret to wealth, you've already missed the point. The secret was never something you could buy, or learn in a course, or copy from a rich person's Instagram. It was the choice to stop letting other people tell you what you're capable of. If that hit a little too close to home, hit subscribe. We don't just break down the lies they've been selling you about money, we break down the lies they've been selling you about what you're allowed to have.